Good evening, Calvary Lighthouse. We're just so glad you guys are here with us. I just encourage you right now just to worship God. Whatever you're going through, that God is a faithful God, and all His promises, they're true. He's not going to let us down. He's been there for us in the past, and He'll continue to be there for us. Let's just worship Him today. Father of kindness, you have poured out grace. You brought me out of darkness, you have filled me with peace. Giver of mercy, you're my help in times of need. Lord, I can't help but sing. Faithful you are, faithful forever you will be. Faithful you are, all your promises are yes and amen. Your promises are yes and amen. Beautiful Savior, you have brought me near. You pulled me from the ashes, you have broken every curse. Blessed Redeemer, you have set this captive free. Lord, I can't help but sing. Faithful you are, faithful forever you will be. Faithful you are, all your promises are yes and amen. All your promises are yes and amen. And I will rest in His promises. My confidence is faithfulness. I will rest in His promises. My confidence is faithfulness. I will rest in Your promises. My confidence is Your faithfulness. I will rest in Your promises. My confidence is Your faithfulness. Faithful you are, faithful forever you will be. Faithful you are, all your promises are yes and amen. Sing faithful, faithful you are, faithful forever you will be. Faithful you are, all your promises are yes and amen. All
what a pleasure it is to be one of your kids, Lord, and there is so much that you have given for us. And Lord, I thank you that that song says that we can rest in your promises, that we don't have to strive for them. It's something that you freely give us because you are God and because you love us as your kids. And so, Father, I thank you that we can rest tonight. We can rest in you, and we can stand firm on your promises. God, we thank you for who you are. We thank you for what you've done for us. We thank you for what you have brought us from and for what you are bringing us to. And Jesus, we just rest in you tonight. Father, I pray that you would give us holy rest tonight. Thank you for this time of worship, and I pray that, Lord, our ears would be open to the message that you have for us as we listen to your word. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Hi there. Thanks for joining us again for our series of learning to follow Jesus. You know, over the last, I believe it's been 24 videos, we have talked about a lot of different aspects of following Jesus. And you know, the reality is that I could probably record a video a day every day for the rest of the year and still not cover everything that is involved in following Jesus, because the reality is that following Jesus is a lifelong journey. It's not something that we master overnight. And honestly, as you grow closer to Jesus and as you mature in your faith, you start to realize how much more you have to grow. And so growth produces new growth. And so that's why I can't make... We can't do a definitive, this covers everything with learning to follow Jesus. But tonight, or today, wherever it is that you're watching it, I want to cover something in this video and then the next one that I think are core elements in learning to follow Jesus. And today we're going to talk about learning to follow Jesus with consistency. Learning to follow Jesus with consistency. Now, I know in the other videos I've asked you to do a memory verse and write verses down, and those are I would encourage you to go back and repeat those and review those. Tonight I just want to do is talk about just the reality of what we look at. Life is hard. Life is hard. Sorry, my glasses were dirty. I couldn't see anything. Life is hard. There's just no two ways around it. And I think if 2020 taught us anything, life is full of unexpected events. And oftentimes things that happen in our day-to-day, it kind of throws us for a loop. And it doesn't match the course that we expect that we're going. I mean, we think about John chapter 10 where Jesus says, I have come that you might have life and have it to the fullest. We think, oh, that's good. It's going to be great. Life is going to... But then we get into real life and we find out that, becoming a Christian didn't remove all of the challenges and problems in my life. I still have challenges. I still have problems. And for new Christians, and even for those that have served Jesus for a while, sometimes the up and downs of life can derail our relationship with Jesus. Because sometimes we have a perspective that Jesus is there to answer all of our problems. And Jesus isn't there to provide a solution to every challenge in life in the way that we expect. Sometimes the solution Jesus replies, let's say, God, I need better finances. Sometimes the solution God provides is a second job. Well, I don't want to work two jobs. I want to be able to do it with one job. Okay, but maybe that was the answer. And so here's the encouragement that I want to have for you. It's from Hebrews chapter 13. Hebrews chapter 13. So if you're taking notes, it's Hebrews chapter 13. We'll start in verse 5. It says, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. Because God has said, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. So we say with confidence, the Lord is my helper. I will not be afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? Remember your leaders who spoke the word of God to you. Consider the outcome of their way of life and imitate their faith. And then verse 8 says this: Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. One of the reasons that we can follow Jesus with consistency is to understand that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord. It's not my own resources. It's not my own ability. It's not my own giftings. It's from God. But my emotions at times and my circumstances at times tell me it's time to quit. It's time to give up. This is not going to work out the way you want to. And in those moments, we have this desire to oftentimes to change our circumstances to match what we want. And there are times that you're just not able to do it. To every individual who has ever walked through cancer with a family member, if they were healed, praise Jesus. If they went to be with Jesus, they received their healing, but they didn't receive it on this side of heaven. But anyone that has walked through cancer with a loved one will tell you it's a challenge of faith. And it's a struggle, even to the person that is the most firm in their relationship with Jesus. There are those moments that say, God, why is this happening? If you have difficulty at work, if you have strained family relationships, we can pause and say, God, why is this happening? And if we're not connected, and if we're not focusing on the truth of the Word of God versus what our feelings and perhaps our friends are telling us, we could be derailed. And so as we grow in our relationship with Jesus, here's the encouragement I have for you in this learning to follow Jesus consistently, is that emotions come and go. And we've all had moments where we have felt like quitting, where we have felt like giving up, where we have felt like it's too much, I can't handle it, I can't do it, this is not the right thing. Let me encourage you with this. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And that's important to hold on to in the ups and downs of life. You know, sometimes the ups are so high that we just soar. And sometimes the lows are so deep that we're not sure we'll ever see the light again. But this verse tells me that I'm not alone. That's what it says. Never will I leave you, never will I forsake you in verse 6. I'm sorry, it's verse 5. That consistent following Jesus, not being ruled by emotions, not that emotions are bad, but they are bad if they overwhelm our reliance and trust in God. Because truth is truth, right? And the Bible, the Word of God, is true. It's always true. Even if we don't feel it, it's true. And I find encouragement in that, because there's all this pressure. It's almost as if the entire world has become Job's friends. And if you're not familiar with the story of Job, I would encourage you, you can go back and look at it. Job was tormented and persecuted, and Satan attacked him. And his friends said, man, you would be better off just to curse God. His wife said, you'd be better off to curse God and die. And Job never walked away from the faithfulness of God. He had it anchored in his heart. And I think that's the right word, is that we need to have the truth of God anchored in our heart, that never will he leave us or forsake us, and that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And what that does, it doesn't make the troubles of this world go away, but it does help us in knowing God is with me, Jesus loves me, Jesus is for me, Jesus is everything. The faithfulness of God, if you're not feeling as though you're experiencing it today, look at what you experienced in the past and know that that's the same God. And to me, this is one of the most important aspects of following Jesus in the long term. We don't want to be, we don't want to burn out quickly. Oh, I just made a random James Dean comment there. We don't want to burn out. We don't want to be a flash in the pan. That's why it can't be all emotion. It has to be in the heart. It has to be in the head. It has to be in the all of who we are and how we connect with Jesus. Otherwise, when trials and tribulations and difficulties come, we're going to try and run for the hills to find the easiest way to make life better for ourselves without necessarily understanding what God is doing in those moments. We've talked about that, about understanding what God's doing in those moments, but following God consistently means that anchoring ourselves. Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And if you're walking through a challenging time right now, I want to encourage you to invite friends that are around you and spiritual leaders, or call the church. One of the pastors, myself included, would love to pray with you. Difficulties happen. They come. But we can survive them when we know we are anchored in Jesus and He's always there. Let's pray. Jesus, we thank you so much that we're never alone. And I pray that you would help us to learn to follow with consistency. Through the ups and downs, the hurts and heartaches, through the joy and the suffering, let us rejoice in the truth that you are there. We're never alone. We're never alone. We thank you for that. Be with us as we go. In your precious name, amen. Amen. Hey, God bless you. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.